It looks a bit like a horse, doesn't it? Just a little bit. This is creative. This is so creative. And once you see it, oh. So this is my testing world, and I'm thinking about my build. I never play in creative. I have no clue where anything is, ever. I get a vibe for it here. Rock out a little bit. I love this beat drop. Okay, this section right here is a little loud. That section right there definitely sounds like, I don't know, have you ever seen any scene in a movie or clip with a carousel and like at a circus? It sounds so fairground circusy. That part is probably what's going to be inspiring me the most, is the fairground circusy part, but also there's the section where it's kind of meandering a little bit. It sounds like somebody's going a little bit on a journey, and then it does sound a little evil. It's kind of like an evil circus, you know? A bit of an evil circus, but it's very fun and circusy, so that's kind of the plan. I'm thinking like a red to blue color palette. Gradient. This is a must-have. Oh, I know. Copper. Copper is always the answer. Copper is the answer to everything. I'm very new to color gradients. I hate Brick. Brick, I hate you so much. Brick, I hate you the most. I think that works. Yes, that is red to blue. What about that? I think there needs to be a little more transition between these ones. Yeah. Okay, here's the gradient. I picked these colors because I just think they're circusy colors. I think they're very circusy colors. I love them so much. It's not the nicest gradient in the world, but it is what it is. I'm not the nicest builder in the world. I don't know about these. These two are throwing me off a little bit. Dang, how do I build a horse, bro? This is a lot bigger of a project than I hoped it would be. The horse is gonna be white. It has to be pretty small. I'm really bad at the small things. Okay, maybe I make the scale a little bit bigger because that's a huge gradient anyways. This is certainly, oh god, this is something. Oh yeah, and there's the horse head. Yeah, this is working. This is working. The horse needs legs. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna look at some references here because this is bad. Build a horse. Minecraft. Oh, that's a little big. Do I have to pioneer being a horse? Now hear me out. What if I trapped a bunch of horses? Can't build a horse, might as well trap them, huh? How do I trap them? Can horses move around string? I mean, we can walk on string, so the horse can definitely walk on string. No! You guys are not working for my plan. You guys are not working. No. I feel a little guilty. I can't do it. I mean, it really is just a log for those guys. You guys are log-shaped. I'm really sorry about what I did to you. I feel really guilty. I've never done that before. It's a new experience. I don't like this feeling of guilt. Okay, it looks a little bit horse-like. Yes, a horsely face. It's got some ears, and then it's got a snout. What do you guys think of my horse? Beautiful, isn't she? Well, it looks like something. A horse that is prancing. He's galloping. And he's even got a saddle. I've definitely got the right idea. Somehow, he looks a little bit like a polar bear. Maybe, honestly, this would be better. This looks way better. Okay, now he looks a little bit like a camel. Yes, he looks horse-like. It looks a bit like a horse, doesn't it? Just a little bit. This is creative. This is so creative. And once you see it, oh, compared to this, that looks like a horse. I'm deluding myself. I've just seen non-horse shaped things for so long that I've convinced myself it looks like a horse. Circle shaped? Enough. It's circle shaped enough. Yes. Get that red terracotta. I have a sneaking suspicion this might take longer than a few days. I went a little ham on building, and I got so into the zone that I didn't want to record while I was building. I felt like it would put back my progress. This is how it turned out so far. Here's my horse design, actually added to the build. I think they're not that great horses. They're not the best horses you've ever seen. I think the problem is the head. I think there needs to be more depth to the face, but I'm not quite sure how to add the depth. I tried an item frame and a like black concrete. It does not work. It's not a good option. I think the issue though is just that there's no depth and I don't really know how to add depth to it. Like, I don't need a full block of depth. I just need a little bit of depth sticking outwards to give it more of a rounder face shape. Right now it looks a little bit like a dog. When you step away from it and look at it in the context of a carousel, it does look pretty good. There are a few things that I want to change. I went a little loud with the colors. I think I like how loud the colors are, but it's a bit hard to differentiate between the details. We know that this is kind of the, I don't know what to call it, the carousel cage, but it's hard to tell the carousel cage from the inside of the carousel. I'm gonna try and do some gradient shadow work. I think I want to make it darker in here, probably switch out this red wool. I'm not a huge fan of the red wool, I don't think. And I don't know about the shroom lights. I wanna say they might be a little bit too orange. In total, this thing is a bit too orange. Also here, this is supposed to be a little bit of like an ornate design on top, and it's just very blocky. I think I need to do a little bit more transitions between the honey and the glazed terracotta as well. I think if I didn't tell you that this was a carousel, you might have a hard time guessing it. I'm gonna get started on that and we'll see how it goes. I finished adding the gradient on the inside. I've kind of added some darker red areas and some lighter red areas as well. I changed a little bit of the transition so that there's more of a transition between red and yellow here. And then I did not end up liking the shroom lights. I felt like they were too orange. And while there's a lot of orange in this build, I think the main color that's supposed to be highlighted is more of a yellow color. I went for the frog lights instead. I ended up adding a little bit of a transition here as well between the honey blocks and the glazed terracotta. On the inside here, I added a darker white just to maybe make them pop a little bit more. I still feel like the details are hard to separate from each other and I'm not really sure how to fix that. I tried adding orange stained glass in between the like cage type thing in the middle, but I didn't really like the way that turned out either. I think it separated it, but I just didn't like the vibe it gave. And then I added the pathway and the leaves. For the pathway, when I chose the color, I was thinking there's a lot of really warm colors here, which is fine, but it's like the whole piece is one red, orange, warm color, and it's a little bit overbearing. So when I chose the pathway, I wanted a cool color, and since we already have blue in the piece, I've added a blue toned path as well, and then I picked the bluest colored leaf. I was going to make the bush a little bit taller, but I think it looks best at one block height. In the reference, there are street lamps. It's very color graded. So the street lamp is blue, and I think this is a very, like the carousel is a beacon in the night. It is very, very bright. And then out here it gets just completely dark. I think I'm gonna try and add street lamps as well that are blue like this, so that they'll kind of bring the blue outwards, and also so that it'll light up the rest of the area. And unfortunately, it looks like it's about time to get rid of my horse prototypes. They're a bit in the way now. I feel a little bad. I think he's gotta go. Yeah, I think he's gotta go. Oh, this is so sad. No. Yep, he's gone. Oh, I miss him already. And then this guy as well. I'm gonna get started on those street lamps, and I will come back and show you the finished product when I'm done. I went through a lot of iterations of the street lamp and I decided on this design. What I really wanted was something that went up and then back down again, but I kept having trouble with it being too bulky. I really didn't want it to be too tall of a lamp or too wide of a lamp to take attention away from the actual carousel. You know, we don't want that. This is what I finally settled on, was something pretty simple, but it gives the illusion of being one of those ornate street lamps. I still think it's a little loud, but I do think the street lamp does kind of offset it just a little bit. How do I turn mob spawns off? When I first built the carousel, I was a little lazy and I did not finish one side of it. I have since finished that side. I still think I need to change up the lamps. Maybe I don't like that they're droopy. Maybe they should be going upwards. Okay, what do we think? I think that looks pretty good. It looks a little funky. I think that's the right choice. Now I'm going to try something that I will probably fail at. So I've seen a lot of people talking about this new style of building, and they're calling it buildstone, where it's basically adding movement to the build. And I think a great build to start adding movement to is a carousel, because it's a carousel. Carousels move. I can't do a whole lot, and I'm not good at redstone, so I don't think this will go very well. Obviously, we can't automate the whole thing, that would be crazy. But I wonder if I can make the horses go up and down and set them up on a timer system so they're staggered a little bit. So one will go up and one will go down and then one will go up. When I decided to build the carousel, I wanted all the horses to be at a different angle to kind of make it so that it's like they're bobbing and it's like it's spinning. So you'll see like this one's lower than this one, is lower than this one, and then this one gets lower again. Here's what I'm thinking for the redstone. Now I know nothing about redstone. I know it's kind of like software and coding. I'm thinking a sticky piston and some slime blocks. I think I can put the slime blocks here where I have the diorite. Probably just do it in the bottom to move it up and down. So I'm just gonna go test over here and see if I can find anything that works. Okay, so I know that if I move the piston up one, it's going to move only the middle. That's why I was thinking the slime blocks here, but then it's not gonna move these pieces. Okay, what happened? Oh, okay, so the slime blocks didn't work. Okay, let's test this. What's the issue now? I apparently don't know what slime blocks do. It seems this is going to be much harder than I thought it would be. I'm not sure that is a plan that can work. Is flying machine the kind of information that I should be looking at? So it seems like every block needs to be connected by pistons. And I'm not really sure how to do that without sacrificing the aesthetic of the build. Here's another idea I was thinking about. I have built a lighthouse before, and that's something that I think would be cool. I could have lights on the bottom going around to sort of make it feel like it's spinning. This one will light up these three, this one will light up these three, and this one will light up these three. What does a redstone repeater do? Isn't this how you make a clock, sort of? Okay, I think I get it. So you need a button, because you don't want an endless source like a lever or a redstone torch. And then you want it to stay on for a certain period of time, and then it'll travel around. So I think the repeaters are for the time crunch. Okay, so each area has a power source. I want to set this repeater to 0, then this repeater to 1, then this repeater to 3, this repeater, why does it look different? Did I do something wrong? Okay, that didn't work at all. Why does my repeater look different? Okay, so it looks like the repeaters are set up like right, because when I click it like this, yes. How do I get them to turn the lamps on? What? Why is this wrong? Oh, no wonder. It's a comparator. I was wondering why it looks so off. Okay, I'm doing something. Look at this. I've got it. Yes. It's working. It's working. I'm doing it. I'm doing redstone. Oh, it kind of worked. Okay, it's all working up to here, and I understand why it's working. I can maybe put it in here. Okay, there's the actual size of the circle, which gives me a lot more room to work with. Okay, here is what I have so far. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm going to try and explain it the best. And I'm sure there are better designs out there. This is my first time ever really getting into redstone and trying to understand it very much. I have built a lighthouse before and I used somebody else's design, and it was a long time ago. I don't remember exactly how the design went. I think I used observers actually, but this is what I've come up with. So this is the shape of the circle that I'll put in there. This is how redstone repeaters work is you can delay them by a tick. So this is 1 tick, this is 2 ticks, this is 3 ticks, and this is 4 ticks. So this one powers these 3 lamps right here. I press the button and it's on 1 tick. Then this one is delayed by 1 more tick. So this one's delayed by 2 ticks. So this one's delayed by 1 tick more than this one. And it's the same all the way down. And then when you get here, this is delaying this circuit here. So since we started over, we have 4 ticks. So we're going to delay this circuit because this is delayed 4 ticks in total. Then this circuit here is going to come 4 ticks after this circuit. And then it goes off. My issue here, how do I reactivate the circuit, I guess, so that it's never ending? Okay, so I've just Googled, and I think the answer might be a clock. I don't know how to make a clock, though. Found this small, simple redstone clock design. Do I connect it this way? That works. I delayed it by 8 ticks. I finished my revolving light here, my circular light. I stole this clock design from somebody online. I'll link it in the description. I'm gonna go attempt to put this in. We'll see how it works. So a bunch of redstoners, they always choose a block to build on. I don't know if there's a reason why they choose blocks to build on, but I'm gonna choose a block to build on. I'm gonna choose my favorite block, actually. Oh, that does add a lot to it. That looks really good. I've added the light. It was quite a lot of work for this tiny little effect. I do like it. I'm pretty happy with it. It doesn't add a whole lot of animation, but it does add just a little bit. It makes it more fun. Then if we want to see the innards, we can get a nice little look. So here are my innards. This is probably the easiest redstone you'll see in your life. I'm not a huge fan of building big. When you're doing art, it's easier to work on a bigger scale. But I think that working on smaller scales comes with its challenges. You know, if I was working on a huge scale, I wouldn't really have much issue making a horse because I have all this space to shape it out. Okay, I keep saying I'm done, and I'm not done. I'm never done. I finally found the solution to my horse problem. It's shelves. Shelves are a great addition to this game. I don't think they've been in the game for very long, but for how long they have been in the game, they've been wonderful. They've been my favorite thing. I didn't like how flat the face was. I felt like it just didn't give a horse type of shape. You know, a horse has cheeks. A horse has jawbones, and my horse was missing his cheeks. It also places the eye in a less central area, so his eyes are higher up on his face and closer towards his snout. I think it makes him look much more like a horse than he ever did before. One thing I did change in here is I changed the direction that it was going. This is so meticulous and nobody's even gonna notice this, honestly. But the horses are all facing this direction, and I had the lamps going this direction around, which is the opposite way that the horses are facing. The spinning didn't match, and I wasn't happy with that, so I changed the direction, so now the horses and the spinning is going in the same direction. And then here is what I have been working on for so long. Oh, it's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. It's bad. Okay, I cannot use sticky pistons to move. I don't know why I can't use the sticky pistons. So here's what I've come up with. I don't know if I'm making this too complicated. I might be making this too complicated. I want the poles in the middle to go back and forth, kind of like the horse is moving up and down. We have 2 pistons and they're pushing some blocks between each other. This one will push 1, but this one won't turn on anymore, because this one's on. When this one is on, this one needs to be off. And when this one is off, this one needs to be on. I don't know how to do that. This is big and terrible, and it doesn't work right. It works well enough, but it doesn't work right, and I don't like it. I don't know how to achieve this and then hook it up to a clock so that it goes continuously. I'm trying to figure out where I even start explaining this because it's really simple. It's really, really simple. These are hooked up to a clock. So on this side, the clock is 8 ticks. And then on this side, the clock is 4 ticks in total. And this basically works the exact same as the light. It is pushing it back and forth like I want it to do. My only problem is that this is activating twice before this one activates once. I think I'm just being really stupid and there's a really easy, obvious answer to this. Now that I've built it like this, where it's super easy and I can see everything that's going on, I need to build it like this. Somehow I've gotten it to work. I'm not actually quite sure how. If you know redstone, if you know your redstone, don't look at this, just don't do it, don't look at it. Since it's the exact same mechanism as the light, I have just hooked it up straight to the light. I brought it all the way up to the top where I'm going to put the pistons. So when I put this in the carousel, I'm going to try building just one clock because I think this is not efficient. After much trial and error, I have figured out something. It's working now. All the pieces that were supposed to be working are working. I tried to hook them all up to one singular clock, and I don't know why that didn't work. I don't understand anything I'm doing at all. I feel I'm a fraud, but I've sort of kind of animated a carousel. Considering that I've never touched redstone before, I'd say that was pretty good. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking to the end. If you did stick to the end, maybe you could consider leaving a like or maybe subscribing. You don't have to, but if you want to. And you guys have a good day.